Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to be the last speaker, so after this you can enjoy the networking time. So today is my pleasure to introduce you to our new company called ZeCardio Therapeutics, which is actually a spin-out company of our former CRO company called ZClinics. So the main problem we are trying to solve at ZeCardio Therapeutics is defined as cardiotoxicity induced by chemotherapy. To be more specific, it is a side effect given by anthracycline, a common chemotherapeutic product, that end up in a large population of oncology patients by giving very complex and sustained cardiovascular problems over the time of treatment with the antitumoral drug. So, in fact, the complexity of this problem raised a new area in the oncology, which is actually defined as cardio-oncology, because in the last years there is this awareness of not only curing the cancer of this patient, but also protecting them for these important side effects. So how do we solve this problem? Well, we start from an innovative animal models. It is called zebrafish. It is a tiny tropical fish that has a fantastic and very beautiful cardiovascular system that is much more similar to humans than the classical rodent models. Besides that, we can count on fluorescent and genetic tools that allow us to visualize and follow the heart and the blood flowing without any invasive approach and experimental intervention. So on top of this biology of the zebrafish, during the last 2 years, we built a platform under the SME Instrument Phase 2 program of the Horizon 2020, which gave us about 2 million euros to build a unique, fully automated robotic and software-driven platform called ZeCardio that allow us to screen hundreds of these zebrafish larvae every day and test their complex cardiovascular function upon different drug treatment. The most important results of this study was that we validated the platform in a paper that was published a few weeks ago by testing a set of 100 compounds with known clinical cardiovascular effects in humans and comparing those 100 compounds in our zebrafish model and human cardiomyocyte in vitro system. And probably surprisingly for many people, the results told us that the zebrafish model was much more predictive than the human cells itself, and is as good as the most relevant animal model in the field, or at least in the cardiovascular system, which are canine models, dogs. So how do our screening looks like? Well, we treat these zebrafish larvae with the doxorubicin, which is the most common anthracycline, and with our system we are able to measure and analyze the cardiovascular function from all different parameters, and then we identified compounds. In this case we have about 5 to 10 lead compounds that are able to rescue completely this cardiotoxicity effect induced by doxorubicin. So this problem is not only a huge medical problem related to oncology, but is also a fantastic market opportunity. In fact, as you know, the incidence of new solid cancer is growing every year and will grow in the next future. And also this increasing the awareness and the need of protecting the heart of this patient is now becoming a very important field in the market. So the other important situation is that for the moment, this cardiotoxicity is treated with either palliative compounds, such as beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, or antioxidants, which of course do not cure the problem, do not solve the problem. And the only molecule that is in the market, which is the dextrazoxane, was patented and started commercialized about 20 years ago by Pfizer, and the drug gave a lot of happiness to this company because they were at the beginning the unique in the market. Today is a generic drug and is commercialized by several different companies, but this has an important drawback. And in fact, it has been reported by the same company that this cardioprotective effect given by the dextra is actually impeding or limiting the efficacy of the antitumoral drug. In fact, they prohibit the co-treatment of the protector with the antitumoral because they reduce the antitumoral effect, basically because they act on the same target. So we believe that by bringing into the market a novel cardioprotector that does not interfere with the antitumoral drug, then we can have an important market niche. So, of course, our company does not pretend to reach the market, and our model is the model of several different biotech companies. And so we pretend to license this drug at the end of initial clinical phases, probably phase 1 or 2. And in order to estimate the potential return of this investment, we analyzed the last 10 years of cardiovascular deals signed around the world from many different companies. And the results is very exciting because these tell us that pharmaceutical companies are still looking for cardiovascular drugs, and especially now in the cardio-oncology field, and the potential payback of this drug will be around 50 plus 300 million in terms of upfront plus milestone, and then once reaching the market, hopefully reaching about 40-45 million per year in terms of royalties. So, as I explained to you so far, this is our main pipeline. We try to correct this cardiotoxicity, and this is a collaboration with CSIC. And besides this pipeline, we are working on 2 other side pipelines which are devoted to a genetic form of cardiopathies, which is dilated cardiomyopathies, and then a third one in which we have a collaboration with the University of Bern, where we identified a novel gene that is able to accelerate the heart regeneration upon heart attack. So this company is recently founded, but I have to say that behind that there are not just scientists, but we are a team of entrepreneurs. We founded 6 years ago our previous company that today is about 30 employees and is duplicating sales every year, ZeClinics. So we are leaving our former company, myself and Dr. Terriente, to lead this new company that will be counting also on 3 project leaders on the 3 pipelines and a small team, but on the other side, the support of our sister company. And on top of that, we count with a fantastic scientific advisory board, which are also partners in the 3 pipelines. So our strength, as I said, is not only science, not only business, but we have been able to build a company from scratch. And today we can say this as an important result. And in fact, we build all the facilities and with agreements with the public centers here in Catalonia. But on top of that, we have been also able to raise quite a lot of money in terms of non-dilutive funding, starting from the SME instrument phase 2. So we think that we have all the skills and all the strength to bring this project around. So going to our investment round, we plan to raise about 5 million in the next period that will be put together to 500,000 starting capital from our sister company. And ideally, we will use this money to develop these drugs up to licensing. But to be more realistic and to make our round more related to milestone, we decided to split it into 2 sub-rounds. So now we are raising 1.5 million that will take these lead compounds and bring to drug candidate. And in about 18 to 24 months, we plan to raise another 3.5 million that will be needed to finish the regulated preclinical phase and entering into clinics. So on top of this, we count on a strong network with pharmaceutical companies due to our commercial relationship with them. So we are already starting with several of them about licensing this compound or also the option or co-developing already in the next couple of years. So we are confident that by 2024, we can reach a final deal and license the drug. So in fact, here, what we wanted to show is a more detailed investment plan. And basically, as you can see, from the 1.5 million, we plan to go from the hit to lead activities and then reaching the next round of 3.5 with a lead candidate, and then with this optimized lead, and then with this bring it up to a drug candidate and entering into clinics. So with that, I thank you for your attention, and I'll be happy to share up here now in the networking.